guys, welcome back to my channel. I just got back from 90s Con and I wanted to tell you what happened there and what I've been doing because I really kind of ran out of video ideas. And I'm also wearing a new shirt today because Katie reminded me that I wear the same 4 shirts on loop in all my videos, so this is a different one. But I just kind of want to talk about 90s Con, like very short video, just kind of brag about it, like just a little bit, because I had so much fun. So let's just get right on into it. This is my second time going to 90s Con. I went last March in Hartford. I ended up skipping the fall one that they do, and then they're not doing it this year. Last 90s Con, I went and I met the cast of 7th Heaven, which was one of the coolest things ever. So Mackenzie Rasmus, David Gallagher, Beverly Mitchell, Catherine Hicks, and Barry Watson. I met James Vanderbeek, who was just in The Masked Singer, which was really, really fun. I met Chris Smith, I met Drew Lachey from 90 Degrees, and I met Jason Bear, who is from Roswell and Dawson's Creek. This year we kind of had some issues because we usually make shirts for whoever we're going for. Like last 90s Con we had Team Pacey shirts. Whenever I went to the General Hospital Con we had Steve freaking Burton shirts. We didn't know who to make shirts for, so this time we decided to make shirts for Jason Priestley from 90210, even though my mom had already previously met him. We have these Jason freaking Priestley shirts on, and so we went to Jason Priestley first on Friday. Whenever they walked out, so how these work is like there's booths, right? There's booths, each celebrity has their own booth, and then they go stand at their booth, and then you wait in a line, and then you get a selfie with them. So we got in first because we were VIP, so we were in this line for probably like an hour and a half, and we were waiting for him to come out so he would start doing the selfies and blah 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 blah. He ended up coming, and then they have to have like escorts or whatever, so he came from the back, from like behind us, and him, Gabrielle Coteras, who plays Aunt Andrea in 90210, and then Jenny Garth, who plays Kelly, they all three came out at the same time, and we were standing on that corner, and they just all three saw our shirts and started pointing at us, which was really, really cool. And then Jason and Gabrielle's people who like take their money weren't there, so they had to like stand there and wait for a really long time, so they were just standing at their booths, nothing was happening. Jason started talking to us. He goes, "Where did you get those shirts?" And so my mom was like, "We made them because I made them. I'm a graphic design major, blah 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 blah." That was fun. After we met him, which I will pop up photos somewhere. After we met him, we walked around for 20 minutes because we had a pro photo op that we had to get to at like 4:30. We walked around for like about 20 minutes, and then we ended up going to get our professional photo op with the Lawrence brothers, which was called Brotherly Love, I think. Never seen the show, don't really know them super well. But we ended the day of Friday, which is kind of like the short day and like the least busy day, and when the least amount of things happen. We ended up seeing the Lawrence brothers panel, which I will pop up on screen, which was very fun. That was a really entertaining panel. I really enjoyed myself. I always have high expectations for the panels because my mom really enjoys them, so every time she goes she's like, "The panels were the best, blah 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 blah." And like the first time I went I had really high expectations for the panels, and I kind of was disappointed, so this time I kind of had lower expectations for the panels, and so they were actually better. Saturday we were gonna get in line for Dermot Mulroney in the morning because he ended up canceling for Friday, but my mom ended up having a migraine, kind of having to go lay down for a while, so I ended up just getting in line for panels like at 8:45 because they let us in early because we were staying in the hotel. The first panel of the day, which my mom ended up being able to get there for, we were front and center. We did the Crafts and Empire Records. It felt like a good idea to mesh those two together because the people in them were similar, so like it was like in that panel it was like the cast of the Craft and the cast of Empire Records, and then the one like similar factor was Robin Tunney. It was a good panel. I didn't really know any of the people in it. I've seen Christine Taylor before last year. She was there for Hey Dude. And then we saw the next panel was Cool Runnings, which I didn't know those people at all. I've never seen the movie. My mom really likes the movie. It's a Disney movie. I think I saw it once on a cruise a long time ago. And then they had the cosplay, which I ended up running around for. I was trying to like get food or get drinks or whatever, so I didn't see most of it. They had Jenny Green who like did it, and then they had like the 3 celebrity guests, which were the Lawrence brothers. After that was the Magnificent Seven panel. Yet again, I did not know it was Dominic Mosciano and Shannon Miller, who don't know at all. They're gymnasts. It was really cool that they were there. I think it's cool that you have athletes, or it's cool that you have actors and then musicians and like all these different kind of people, because it's a 90s con, so it's kind of like all over the place and it can be anything. My mom was like super excited for the Magnificent Seven panel, so that was good. The TGIF panel, which was the girl who plays Punky Brewster, I'm blanking on her name right now, Soleil Moon Frye, Jaleel White, who's Urkel, and then the 2 guys from Boy Meets World that were there. It was weird though because it had Matthew Lawrence, who's one of the Lawrence brothers. He was supposed to be in the panel, but he wasn't. And nobody really does 2 panels. But I don't know why they scheduled it like that and didn't just say he wasn't in it. Ryder Strong, Will Friedle, Jaleel White, and Suleiman Fry. And then after that, we had my favorite panel, which was the 90210 panel, which was so freaking cool. They all come out and like, because I just finished watching that show. I don't even really remember much from it because I was in the front row, so I kind of blacked out. That one was my favorite panel from this time, and then last time the Seventh Heaven panel was my favorite. And then we went to the floor and we did some meet and greets. So we saw Kimberly J. Brown and her husband, who's Daniel Kuntz, whatever. They're from Halloween Town. They were both very, very nice. We knew her from General Hospital. We had her sign our GH that we have from General Hospital. So we have like all the people we met from General Hospital signing this this letter, these 2 letters that say GH. Dominique Musciano, then we went and saw, who is a gymnast, the gymnast that I was just talking about. I don't know her at all. My mom ended up getting her a combo for her, so she got a selfie and an autograph. I made her a bracelet. She was very nice. Everybody was really nice. I don't have like any super negative. She didn't stand up for her picture though, which I always think is so odd. Like me and my mom, we will make fun of people who don't stand up for their pictures. For Christmas Con, Sam Page didn't stand up for any of his pictures, and we were like, oh my gosh, why is he not standing for his pictures? He thinks he's such hot stuff. Turns out he had like a boot on and he was like injured, so that's fun. I like to bring extra bracelets because I will go up to celebrities whose lines are empty, nobody's there, and like if I know them at all, and I'll give them a bracelet and say, oh, I liked you in this show, blah 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 blah, which I did for Christmas Con. I did for Drew Seeley, and I did for Corbin Burnson. Drew Seeley obviously voiced Zac Efron, voiced Troy in High School Musical 1, and then Corbin Burnson, who is from The Resident. Anyway, I walked over, his name's Johnny Whitworth. He was in like 10 episodes of The 100, and it was really, really awkward, and I remember this so clearly because I walked up and I said, hi, I loved you in The 100, didn't really, he was kind of a creep in The 100, but whatever, and I handed him this bracelet. This man looks at me in the eyes, and it took like 45 minutes for him to say anything. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, oh my gosh, is this the wrong guy? Because that's like my biggest fear, because there's like 40 celebrities here, and like I don't know them all super well. They're like, oh, you were in 10 episodes of this show I watched or whatever, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got the wrong guy. I was like, I'm dead right now, I don't have the right guy. And he goes, okay, thank you. I don't think bro remembered anything. Like, I don't think you remember being on that show, so that's fun. And I gave him the bracelet, and he goes, what does it say? And I said, it says 90s Con. He goes, oh good, I'll remember where I am. And then he goes, hi, I'm John. I was like, this is uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable, but I don't usually talk to the celebrities either. Like, it's very rare if I talk to them. I kind of let my mom talk. And then we saw Dermot Mulroney. He had a pretty decently short line, but it was probably the longest we waited. And obviously, Skeet and Matthew Lillard had the longest lines ever. Anyway, back to Dermot Mulroney. My mom talked to him about rom-coms, and he was very, very nice. He gave hugs, like, very, very nice. No, it was great. And then after that, we walked the vendor floor. We absolutely love the place that has the brownies. The brownies and the banana bread and the macaroons. I get a brownie every single morning when we're at a con. And then Sunday, we had the music of the 90s, which had A.J. McLean from the Backstreet Boys and then Wilson Phillips. We'd seen Wilson Phillips because they had like this after party on Saturday night, and we got to stand there and like listen to Wilson Phillips sing 3 songs, which I always think is super cool. I don't know why they charge people $80 if you're not VIP. That would be like a really big disappointment to only have like 3 songs and it cost $80, but that's fine. Anyway, so they had their panel. AJ's super, super likable. They talked about Masked Singer, which I thought was really funny, and AJ goes, oh, I think I'd be, because Wilson Phillips was on Masked Singer, they were the Lambs, and he was like, oh, they keep asking me to go, and I keep saying no, and he's like, maybe I'll go, and then everybody was like, yeah, just go, and then he goes, I think I want to be a monkey, and then he goes, now you guys are gonna know if I go on and there's a monkey. And then they had the high school, the That's for Entertainment high school, which was Saved by the Bell, so Mario Lopez, Paul Gosselaar, Elizabeth Berkley, and Brittany Daniels, who's from Sweet Valley High. I don't know either of those shows at all, so that was good. Mario Lopez is always cool to see. My mom met him at the first 90s Con she went to, and I think it was Tampa. Yeah, because they had it in Daytona last year, and they had it in Tampa the year before. It was our first 90s Con. I'm not sure if she went to Christmas Con or 90s Con first. I'd have to fact check that, but she met him that last time, because I mean, how do you not meet Mario Lopez? That's really cool. And they had the Halloween Town panel, so it was Halloween Town with Lacey Chabert, because Kimberly J. Brown and Lacey Chabert are actually like really close friends. Like Lacey was in her wedding. Lacey's always cool to see. I saw Lacey in December at Christmas Con because she's the queen of Hallmark Christmas. That panel was really interesting. Thought it was good. And then they had Judith Hogue there also. She's from Nashville, which was kind of cool. And then we had the charm panel. There were supposed to be 3 people, but an older charm lady who I can't remember the name of for the life of me. She had a death in the family, so she ended up canceling last minute. It was Rose McGowan and Holly Marie Combs. And that panel was okay. I mean, there was nothing. I've seen part of Charmed. I quit because it wasn't I just didn't love it. It was a decent panel. I mean, Rose McGowan's real weird, but other than that, the final panel, for those of you who have never been to one of these, Scream was the final panel, which means it was kind of like the quote-unquote like headline of it, because like the longest lines were for Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, who are from Scream. The 90210 had pretty long lines, and so did like Punky Brewster. The Scream panel was very fun. It was different because usually they have like a moderator and they ask questions, which this lady comes out and she's like, oh, they ended up having like Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard like roam the halls and get questions, which I think that's like fun, but you have to have the right person to do it. Like it's awkward. Like if you had to have like the gymnast do it, like it just depends on the person, I think. But they were fine to do it. It was a very fun panel. Dermot Mulroney did not fit in that panel at all. He was like real organized and real, and then the rest of the guys were kind of like a disaster. But it was real fun. It was real fun. Can't complain. It was David Arquette, Jamie Kennedy, Dermot Mulroney, Skeet Ulrich, and Matthew Lillard. I thought it was cool. And then after that, we just went home, and I hope that made some sense. There are people who don't go to cons. But it was really, really fun. I had a really good time. I don't know when I'll be back or if I'll be going next year because of school and blah, 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 blah. But I had a really good time. I'm going to Christmas Con in December, so I might do another one of these just to brag and show all my stuff and talk about celebrities, because I just like talking about celebrities. And thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, week. And if Katie's watching this, don't comment. Bye!